Welcome back, everybody. Just Mike here. Anyway, we have a cuckoo clock that I've already worked on, and for some reason the clicker on one side stopped working. So I'm kind of curious, did the wire just pop off the clicker, or does it need replaced? Anyway, let me show you the clock real quick. So this is the clock. It's a Hebert Herr. I already disconnected the bird and I have to disconnect the hands, and then we'll take the movement out and I'll be right back. So I got the movement out, and right in between here is our spring, and it looks like to me the spring isn't setting in the clicker. Right, there's a clicker, and I don't see anywhere where the spring's in it. It's setting off to the side. So we're still going to take this thing apart so we can look at it better and understand why that's not inside where it's supposed to be. This might be a little bit too loose. The washer here pressed on might be might have slipped or whatever. Now it's clicking, and I haven't even moved it into place. Anyway, let me take this apart and get that clicker out, or the winder. So the wire comes through the clicker. Let me think about this. So if you look inside here, right there's the clicker, and right there's the wire coming through it. It comes around, and right here it hooks to the plate. So through this plate it comes around. You can see the wire there, comes around and in through the clicker. And I'm not sure, I got to accidentally do it once, why this thing wasn't clicking. Then all of a sudden it's clicking. Trying to wiggle the plate, these plates back and forth. It may look like I got a lot of play. It's my fingers wiggling, I'm sure, because I can't necessarily mess with this area here to either relieve the clicker or something of that sort. It's not too tight. Spins nice. So I'm just going to have to play with this until I can either get to not work or something again. So the only thing I've found so far to recreate it is I came over against where the chain goes in, and I thought, well, let me push that wire over towards the clicker more, because maybe it's just too close to this. When I did that, it started slipping. So I came back over to this side where the wire comes through, and I gave it a push in, because that would push that, snug that, or however you want to call it, and now we have the clicking action again. So this wire does not need replaced. It's just the idea of some reason or another it didn't like where it was setting, and it just flat out stopped. So this one here is always giving me a problem. This even has brand new chain, and look how it winds up. It's like the chain wants to twist back and forth and not catch the teeth like it's supposed to. And that causes it to slip as you're winding it, or as the clock is cuckooing or whatever, it will cross and then slip a little bit, and then causes the weight to hang up, I guess is the way I'm going to put it. See how it's twisting on there now. It makes no sense to me why it's doing that. And per se, it doesn't do it all the time. Most of the time. Try to hold this as level as possible. The chain is continuously doing this down below, and it should just stay straight. Like I said, the old chain that did that, this is a brand new chain and it shouldn't be doing that, but for some reason it is. The most I can come up with is possibly wax this chain and see if it does any better. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and put this back in the box, and then we can wax it and see how well it does. So this is a clock after I wax the chains. This side is clunking, so it's not totally right, as in it kind of misses its, it wants to turn the chain as you're winding it. This one feels worse, but there's nothing I can do about it. And there, it's not catching again. So I took this out again to see what was going on, that the winder or the clicker wasn't clicking in, and I found that the clicker, as it's winding up, obviously it raises and pops down. What it's doing is the clicker itself is moving this way. So what it does, it rides up onto this here, not on the gear itself, but onto the plate inside there that holds this gear. And with it riding up on there, then it catches, and it just sits there and will not click until you push it down just a little bit, and now we're clicking again. So I'm going to have to see if I can figure that spring wire out to get it to stop pushing the clicker up onto this plate. So I'm not sure if I cured the problem or not, but the spring wire comes out right here and bends over. And figuring the clicker needs to be bent, we'll say, inward, so it stops popping out of the hole and riding on the side there. What I did is I took the spring from this side and I, per se, pulled it, I had to come clear back here, bring it around, then I bend it in this way, thinking that when it bounced back, it's going to pull back towards this way. And so far, it looks like I have space in here, just a little bit, and I can see the clicker riding on the gear this way more, and there's more of a gap on this side. So hopefully we fix that part. Now when it comes to the chain riding and twisting on here, the wax seemed to help a little bit, but I've tried a number. This here only takes one size chain for the Herr, and this one here, well, you can see there, it's still wanting to twist. It only has a short piece of chain on there right now, it doesn't want to keep lining up like it's supposed to. It's like this thing's twisting back and forth, but the old one did the same exact thing, and the chain doesn't look messed up, but that's the way it's acting. You can see how this thing's continuously twisting around, and that's why I waxed it, to try to get it to be a little more smoother. And maybe if you wound this thing real slow, now see, oops, I just bumped it, but you can see where it's starting to skip and miss this thing. Yes, the weight's normally on this side, but just the same, freewheeling, look at that, just missing all over the place. And that finally grabs it back into place. So if you guys can figure that out, let me know. And so the clock's ticking away now, and if it happened to work out to where the winder's staying, that'll be the end of this video. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe. Why? Because it's free. And until next time, God bless.